A state of emergency has been declared, and hundreds of National Guard troops have been deployed, and it looks like the situation is going to get even worse. New emergency warnings are being issued for parts of the country, and people are in danger right now. And things are getting so bad that it makes me wonder that something has to be going on. It's becoming very suspicious. All of these weather maps, all of these radars that are coming out, they look very suspicious and they do not look normal. And we're going to break down all this. There's also been a massive earthquake in California right outside of San Francisco. We're going to get to all these things. There's a lot of activity going on, and there's a lot of big breaking news, and you need to be prepared because you could be in danger tonight. So that's why I want to get this video out, and this is important. So let's dive into what already happened, and then we will get into the new warnings that have just been issued as well for new parts of the country. Some areas with a 45% chance of having catastrophic events happen. We will get to all this, but let's get into the story here. A state of emergency has been declared, and hundreds of National Guard troops have been deployed. And like I said, this all looks very suspicious from what I can see, and there is a ton of evidence that this is happening as well, that there could be manipulation happening as well, and we will get to all this, all right, with proof. So you can see here the Mississippi governor issues emergency order following storms. They have declared a state of emergency. They had a massive tornado event last week in Rolling Fork, and then they had another massive tornado event over the weekend, and they have declared a state of emergency. And this also hit Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Iowa. All these states got hit extremely hard. The pictures, the tornadoes coming out of these states are absolutely massive and devastating. And even in Arkansas, they are now deploying over 200 National Guard troops to help with the devastation. And you can see some of the carnage back there in the background of these National Guard troops. And the homes are completely destroyed. Mobile homes are just gone. They're not even there anymore. And these storms were devastating, and their systems before they happened looked very suspicious. You can see here some of the radars that were on just days before we had dozens of tornadoes hit Arkansas, Tennessee, Iowa, Mississippi. All of these states got devastated again just after they got devastated last week. That's why this topic is so important. And look at this. This is not a natural system. This does not look natural. And even people on Twitter, go follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you're not. Even people on Twitter are suspicious and wondering, this looks like a hurricane inside of Wisconsin. And we even have hurricane-like systems off the coast of California. California is breaking records for snowfall. They already broke the record for the past 70 years, and there's going to be even more devastation there when the snow melts, and more systems like this are popping up that are hurricane-like systems. We even had one like this hit California a few months ago. I reported on that looked like a massive hurricane hitting California in the middle of winter. What is going on? These very suspicious systems keep popping up, and it doesn't seem like a coincidence, all right? And now we have a new warning issued. I'm going to tell you what I think is happening with these systems in just a second, but I want to get to this warning as well because this is important for people to know about. A new warning has been issued for people as well for tonight and through tomorrow to be prepared for these tornadoes and these very suspicious systems and cells that keep popping up. So you can see here, this was just issued tonight, and this one from the National Weather Service up in the top right hand corner, they have a tornado watch issued for parts of Des Moines, Iowa, and into surrounding states as well. And you can see here on this bigger map, all right, you can see that red there. And then right in the middle of that red, there's a tiny little purple dot. And it looks like that dot is right around this region, this Des Moines, Iowa region, where there could be a tornado. And now there's a tornado watch issued as well from the National Weather Service. And a purple region means a potential 45% chance of having a massive tornado. So this is huge that this is happening, and you need to be prepared. If you are in this region, you need to be able to take shelter because this could happen at any moment. You need to have alerts on your phone and all systems to be ready. You need to stay away from windows, stay inside the closest room that you can find, and try to not be near any windows. And that's your best bet. All right. That's the best you can do unless you have a basement. A lot of houses have basements in this region, and you should obviously go to that if you think there is a tornado. But a lot of these are so deadly because they come in the middle of the night and you can't see them and you only hear them last minute. All right. There might not even be sirens or any alerts or anything like that. And you just hear it last minute. You hear a freight train going by, essentially a very loud, destructive sound, and you don't have much time to prepare. So that's why it's very important. These warnings are being issued tonight, and you need to be ready in this region if there's a tornado. Bare minimum, the red area is projecting a 15% chance, but there is a little dot in there that's up to 45%, and that's like flipping a coin if there's going to be a tornado near you. So make sure you are prepared if you're in this region, and it keeps getting hit day after day after day. And I know that this is the natural season for tornadoes. I know that that is a real thing to have a tornado season, especially in these areas, but it seems like the frequency and the power of them are increasing. And I just wanted to show you guys something. This was right outside of my house, all right? This was a couple days ago when I was shoveling snow in the driveway. And you can see here, all right, I live in Colorado, and this article out of AP just a couple weeks ago, the feds to spend $2.4 million on cloud seeding for the Colorado River, okay? These are real programs. This is not made up. And you probably see this all the time. You probably see these fake clouds being made all the time over your head. And people act like it's just not even there. And it's very upsetting. And a lot of times the plane will fly directly over you. It feels like spraying these chemicals. And you can even see here, they admit that right there, I circled it in red. This is from the AP. This is not from any crazy website or anything. This is mainstream news. The federal government is doing this, and they are admitting it. And you're paying for it with your tax money, by the way. You're paying to get sprayed like this. And it even says here, the weather modification method uses planes and ground-based cannons to shoot silver iodide crystals in the clouds, attracting moisture to the particles that fall as additional snow and rain. So right there, they tell you what they're doing. They are spraying silver iodide and releasing it with cannons from the ground as well. This is absolutely insane and dystopian what is happening. And like I said, look at this suspicious. How do we get these hurricane-like systems over Wisconsin? And I believe they are manipulating the weather. They are making it more extreme with these systems. And look at that, silver iodide, and look at what Harp does. Harp is a powerful ionosphere heater, and silver is the most conductive metal on Earth. It is used for the base of conductivity for all other metals. Silver is. And they are spraying it into our skies constantly, and they admit that they have high-powered radio frequency ionosphere heaters like Harp that can interact with the ionosphere, heat the ionosphere, and essentially mimic the sun. The sun is one of the main drivers, potentially the main driver, the main source of weather patterns on Earth. And if they can heat our ionosphere to mimic more sun or less sun. They can charge our ionosphere just like the sun does. Then they can create these systems and create these storms. And they are doing this right now, and they admit they're doing this. They already admit they're spraying. They just don't admit the other half because they don't have to, because these radio frequency waves are invisible, but they already have these towers installed all over. They don't even need HARP anymore because they have 5G high-powered radio frequency. The radio frequencies from 5G are much more powerful than HARP even is admitted to. So these 5G frequencies could be manipulated as well to interact with the ionosphere and manipulate the weather. And they're spraying silver iodide, the most electrically conductive metal, and it's a perfect metal to interact with these high-powered radio frequencies that they admit can heat the ionosphere and even create aurora borealis events. They even admit that they've created artificial aurora borealis with these HARP and high-powered radio frequencies. They even admit all of this. They admit it all. It's on record. And they are manipulating our weather. And they tell us, they always tell us what they're doing. It's just up to you to decide, do you this? Do you see this? Do you want this or not? And a lot of people see it and they're just like, meh, it's no big deal. They see this over their house and it's no big deal. And even right now, it is snowing like crazy. There's a foot of snow on the ground, and it's been snowing all day. And this was outside my house just a few days ago. They are constantly doing this, and it was sunny just a few days ago too. It was nice and sunny, all right? Nice, sunny, and warm. And then they started the spraying, and now it's snowing like crazy out here, all right? And they amplify and enhance these weather patterns, and they could potentially be making these tornadoes much more powerful and much more extreme and much more devastating. And this has been happening for a long time. Look at this article from 2007. This is out of the AP, and they're even saying in Kansas, they've been, quote, tweaking the weather and cloud seeding since 2007. This is a 2007 article. The date's up there at the top, October 17, 2007. And they've been doing it since then. They've probably been doing it even a decade before that. But bare minimum, they've been doing it for a long time, and they are affecting our weather patterns, our natural weather patterns. And it might even be one of these things where they are in so deep they have to double down now. Maybe they have to just spray even more now because they've disrupted all the natural patterns in our systems. And maybe they just have to just manipulate the weather even more to make sure we're not in a massive drought situation, or it never rains or whatever. Okay, they are manipulating our weather. They're poisoning our water. Think about it. All the water is created with this silver iodide. Silver is a heavy metal, a toxic heavy metal that is very hard to get out of your body. And they are poisoning the soil with it as well, potentially altering the acidity of the soil because silver is a heavy metal and it could make it more alkaline, okay? And that could be affecting plant growth. They're also spraying sulfur dioxide. Admittedly, I've covered it multiple times, where they are spraying it to blanket out the sun as well, where they are creating a film, like a volcanic film. It's not even a cloud. It's just a film to block out the sun as well. They're also implementing this same technique at the same exact time, which could also create sulfuric acid in the atmosphere and create acid rain. Admittedly, that's what sulfur dioxide does. When it interacts with the air and water, it creates sulfuric acid and it rains down from the sky as well. So we are constantly being hit and poisoned. And I feel like it's one of these things where it's not taken that seriously. And it should be taken way more serious. I get upset when I see these sprays, right? It's a nice sunny day, and then all of a sudden it's freezing because the sun's blocked out. It's upsetting. It's like, what's going on with our weather? I want to know. And they admit it here and there, but they need to be upfront and they need to tell us, and they need to stop if this is poisoning us and poisoning our water and manipulating our weather, which it looks like it is. All right. And we're going to keep getting these freak events. Look at what's happening in Illinois, and we're going to cover this California earthquake in just a second too. But look at what is happening in Illinois. Massive golf ball size hail, and potentially even tennis ball size hail, right? And this stuff could destroy buildings, destroy cities. Like, this could be a form of warfare, weather manipulation. China even admits that they are going all in on cloud seeding, and countries like India are experiencing massive drought right now, and they're even blaming China, saying, hey, China's cloud seeding is stealing all of our water and it's causing a drought here. All right, we're in a dystopian future. It's all around us. But we're just used to it. We just get used to it, becomes normal, and it's normalcy bias. It's no big deal. This hail's normal. All these tornadoes are normal. The sky's being sprayed. It's all normal. You know what I mean? We just get used to it because it happens constantly. We're exposed to it. But these things are not normal, and they could use these as weapons as well. What if they hit a whole city with these massive hail balls, right? What if they wipe out a city with massive tornadoes? We were getting tornado warnings in New York a few days ago, right? It's getting crazy out here. And what if a massive winter weather event is engineered in the middle of summer to wipe out the crops, right? What if a massive snowstorm comes and takes out all the corn in Iowa? These are real things that could happen. We are living in the 21st century. It's 2023. We should have flying cars, but we don't. We have flying planes that spray the skies and poison us all day long. Instead, we are living in the dystopian version. And it doesn't feel like it yet, but it's already all around us, and the walls are closing in. It's getting quick. And another earthquake has also hit California here. And I know earthquakes could be natural as well too, but there's even some linkage to Harp weapons and earthquakes because they can electrify the ionosphere. And there's even admitted articles saying that they can produce high-powered plasma from these ionosphere heaters, produce synthetic plasma with Harp from these radio waves from manipulating our ionosphere. All right. Go look this stuff up. Just Google it. Harp plasma. Just Google that and you'll find a ton of articles, all admitted. These are real things that are happening. And the reason why I bring up plasma is because when we've been seeing all of these massive earthquakes, like in Turkey, there's always these very suspicious and strange cloud events, very strange looking clouds, very suspicious clouds that no one's ever seen before, and also very suspicious lightning that happens right before the earthquake. There's tons of videos of Turkey where there's a ton of lightning just striking all over the place right before the earthquake even hits. And this is something that could be connected to it. And this could be a natural event too, that lightning could be connected to earthquakes naturally, but what if they are manipulating that natural occurrence and making it, amplifying it? And there were a lot of suspicious things going on inside that Turkey earthquake, and it was devastating for people. Very sad, very devastating, and very strange and suspicious earthquake that happened. And we've been having more and more happen in California as well too. We even had an earthquake happen in Texas a few months ago. I reported on. These keep happening all over the United States, and the frequency is increasing. And these aren't strong earthquakes, but these aren't little. This is a 4.5 striking right outside of San Francisco, California. 4.5 earthquake outside of San Francisco. Imagine if it was a 6.5 or a 7.5. It would be devastating for this area, and it would look similar to Turkey, all right? So we don't know. These could be a natural occurrence that's happening, but there's also these dystopian futuristic weapons that we know exist that could be being unleashed on the people right now. And they have plausible deniability. They can just say, hey, things are getting worse. It's just getting bad out there. That's how it is. And there's nobody really to blame. You can't really pinpoint an earthquake on somebody. But the possibility is out there. These weapons exist, and we are living in the future, all right? And they're going to unleash these weapons on us. Look at the AI they are unleashing on us. All of this stuff's being unleashed, the nanotech, the genetic manipulation, all the gene therapies, all these different things are being unleashed on us right now, and we need to get prepared. So make sure you're prepared. Get stocked up on food. Get stocked up on a generator. Get a tiny solar system. Get anything. Most of the time you will survive an emergency, but it's what will you do after? Services could be down. Emergency services could be down. You could not be able to get any help. You need to be able to take care of yourself, protect yourself, heal yourself, bandage yourself, feed yourself, anything like that in an emergency you need to be able to do, and you need to be prepared beforehand. All right, so get ready now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go watch my video I posted earlier today. All right, they're warning the banks are going to collapse as well. All right, an emergency warning has been issued for the largest bank in the US. So go check out that video. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.